Hello, hello, guys. I hope that everyone is having a great Tuesday. I wanted to come on and talk just a minute about what happens when you cannot get a line of credit. I know that I get that question a lot, and I want to kind of go over that just so that I can keep you all encouraged that you're going to be able to get out of debt with or without a line of credit. But let's have a short conversation here about what can I do if I don't have a line of credit? What can I do if I can't get a line of credit? What if my DTI is too high? What if I have low credit scores? What if I have collections on my credit report? All kinds of questions that I'm getting from everyone about what can I do when I cannot get a line of credit. Now, let's talk about the line of credit first. The line of credit is the revolving line. Remember, that means that all of your income can go into the line and your expenses can come out of the line. When we're talking about lines of credit, we're talking about credit cards. Those are lines of credit, but you can only charge onto those cards, right? You have to have someone that takes credit cards before you can use them. So if you go to the grocery store, you can charge on your credit card. If you go to eat at a restaurant, you can charge on your credit card. If you go to the gas station, you can charge on your credit card. Maybe if you have a doctor's visit, you can charge your copay on the credit card. We don't think about how good credit cards are. We're always told how bad they are. And I agree that if you get crazy with your credit cards and you're not paying attention and you're doing a lot of spending, then yeah, you're going to get in trouble with a credit card. But if you use a credit card like the line of credit it was designed to be, then you kind of should take joy in using your credit cards because you're going to be able to put your money back into that card and turn around and use it again. Okay, we look at credit cards as something that we charge up. Right. Me and my husband were talking yesterday about Fred Flintstone. And if you know who Fred Flintstone is, then you're telling your age. So if you remember, his wife Velma, is it Velma or Thelma? I can't remember. Anyway, if she and Betty, her friend, wanted to buy something, they would say, charge it. And they would have the credit card in their hand, right? Because the credit cards were really just coming out at that time and getting started. It was Wilma. Was it Wilma? Okay. I don't remember. It was something with an MA on the end. Anyway, so we kind of come up through the 80s thinking, okay, well, if you want something, then you can charge it and then you can make small monthly payments and get out of that. Was that a lie from the devil or what? Okay, so those small monthly payments that you're making on your credit card, guess what? You're never going to get out of the credit card debt doing that. That's what makes it so exciting when you're using the revolving line of credit or the credit card correctly. Oh my goodness, it is Wilma. It is Wilma. Like a financial soap opera. Well, all right. I like that. Okay, so that's why I wanted to talk about the lines of credit for just a minute. I wanted to first, if you've watched any videos, you know what the revolving line of credit is. It is totally different from what a loan looks like. Do I need to go over that? Does everybody understand the revolving line? This thing is different from the loan, and I was not aware of that. That's why I started the channel, to tell you guys that this stuff is out there for you to use so that you can stop the debt crunch that you're in and start getting out of the debt. Okay. The point is that if you don't know what's available for you at the bank, then you're not going to know you have some option to use besides what you're currently using at any given bank, which is the loan. All we hear about is take out the mortgage, the personal loan, the second mortgage. You know, you're talking about these personal loans that I saw for today, for over 17%. Well, that 17% is not simple. That's not simple in any way. You're talking about an amortization schedule. And again, if you've been watching videos, you know that that amortization schedule is set up. It's already set up for you. That's why they are so nice. They're so nice about giving you a small monthly payment and a payment book, even that maybe you can go in and make your payments, and they just set it up so nicely for you. And you know what? If they see that you're struggling just a little bit, then they might even refinance that loan into, you know, one that gives you a little more cash flow, meaning that it's going to lower your payment a little bit, and they'll stretch it out more over, you know, longer years. You know the favors that the banks are doing for you. I know you know, because you've been watching the channel and you know exactly what you're doing now at the bank because you've been studying. Okay. When the student's ready, the teacher will arrive, and you're here. So that tells me that you are looking for answers. Now, back to the line of credit. We were talking about the credit card and what it looks like. Um, the credit card, again, you can only use it for things you can charge, right? So if you can charge, your expense, whatever that is, then you're going to be able to use a credit card. That is one line of credit. Your second line of credit is a personal line of credit. So that means that they're going to approve you for a certain limit. And the average seems to be about $10,000. Mine at my bank is about 15,000. And then I've seen some, you know, that they'll give you 500. So it depends upon your bank. There are lots and lots of banks and credit unions that will do lines of credit, personal lines of credit for around 15,000 average. Some banks, okay? You just have to check with the banks, the credit unions in your area, and find out what they have available. I mean, it's about what the bank's offering. This personal line of credit, though, can look like a credit card too. So it can look like you've got a credit card, but if it's in the same bank as your checking account is, lo and behold, you may be able to take monies off of that credit card in your bank and transfer it into your checking so that you're able to use it for cash. Now, why it's so super exciting to use lines of credit as cash is because, one, when you're transferring your income into the line of credit, then you're satisfying any monthly payment that that line may have. Okay, so let's say that you have a $10,000 line of credit. You have a 10% interest rate. All right. What's your interest going to look like? Well, 10,000 times 10% divided by 12. That's about $83.33 in interest for your first month. Okay. But if your balance is 10,000 on a line of credit and your income is 2,000 for a week or maybe every other week, when you transfer the $2,000 paycheck that you just got into your personal line of credit, and this can apply for the HELOC as well, the home equity line of credit. When the income goes in, you have satisfied that $83.33 that they were requesting you make for your monthly payment. Okay. Now, when you put the $2,000 into your line of credit, this is your income going into the line. One, it reduces the balance. So if it's a $10,000 balance on your personal line of credit, your income of $2,000 going in would bring that down to $8,000, right? So do you know how super exciting it is when you have a line of credit and you get paid and you transfer the funds into the line and you watch that balance plummet? Do you know how good that feels? I do. I was so excited when I started doing velocity banking and I could just watch that balance hit on my payday and go down. I mean, watching the balances decrease after I had been stuck in debt for so long, that felt so good. You can do it too. So with the personal line, the income goes in, satisfies any payment that was due that month. Therefore, if you had an $83 payment due, then you just gained $83 in cash flow because you were using the line of credit correctly. Your income was going in. Now that income is sitting in the line of credit, ready to be used. But guess what? It's already being used one time just by knocking the balance down. It's going to help you with your interest charges for that month, right? They calculate interest off of the average daily balance. So again, if it was $83.33 for 10,000, and you do a $2,000 income transfer, then your expenses start coming back out again. But that's probably going to reduce your interest. So we're going to average down to about $75 for that month. So you did nothing different, but just using your income to serve you instead of sitting in a checking account doing nothing. Okay. So the personal line of credit allows you to, one, leverage the bank to maybe eliminate higher interest debt. Maybe eliminate high payments that you've got by transferring that debt into the line. Once it's transferred into the line of credit, your payment is gone. You know, that payment that you've been struggling to make, whether it's $25 or $2,500, you can start working down the balances on those loans, which is going to help you gain some cash flow. That's the point, okay, is gaining cash flow. Cash flow is king. I don't care what anybody else says. Cash flow is king. If you have cash flow, you can get out of debt and you're always going to have money available to use during the month. If you can reduce payments, that's where you're going to win. We don't have a spending problem. Most of us do not have a spending problem. Most of us have an interest problem, and it's not your fault. You didn't know that you were sinking your finances by using certain tools at the bank. I can't say how easy it is to get out of debt once you're set up in a strategy. Okay. Now, we are having the Money Max meeting tonight. It's a webinar. It's live. We're going to live stream it over YouTube, but we're also going to have a link if you wanted to register, so you can go in through that link and then be able to ask questions at the end of the webinar. So you're welcome to join that if you would like. I can put that link in the chat here at YouTube. The YouTube chat for sure. You're welcome to join us at this tonight, if I can find it. And then you can ask some questions. Now, how can you get out of debt when you're not able to get one of the lines of credit that I just talked about? Again, the home equity line of credit requires that you have property. but it also requires you to have a good credit score. So if, like I said at the beginning of the live here, if you have a low credit score, if you have collections on your credit report, if you have a high DTI, if you're self-employed, like I am, and you can't get a line of credit based on a W-2, right? Because we're paid 1099. You may, do write-offs on your returns and you're not able to show a whole lot of income. So there's all kinds of reasons that we can't get lines of credit. Okay. It doesn't matter if you make $1,000 a month or you make $100,000 a month. If you can't get a line of credit, you're not going to be able to gain cash flow really quickly unless you use the Money Max. The reason and the only reason that I work with Money Max is because I had a client that I could not help due to he had a low credit score. He had a very high DTI. He was even in a negative cash flow of $600. But I knew that there had to be an answer. I'd been praying about it, and I was like, Lord, you have to send me something so I can help this couple. Well, lo and behold, I found the Money Max. Just happened upon that link. I, put in a request for a one-on-one, just like you guys probably do. And I told them, hey, I have clients. I want to see if you guys can help them. And so we ran that client through the Money Max and found that his 26-year payoff went to 8.7 years. And remember, I told you he was in a negative cash flow of $600 per month. So, I mean, think about it. What kind of crazy magic is Money Max doing for you if it can pull you out of a negative cash flow? Well, that's what you need to get your own personal analysis to find out. All of this stuff is free, guys. You can't sit here and say, yeah, well, that's just a scam. Well, if it's a scam, then why is it free to get you the information that you need so that you know how long it's going to take you to get out of debt? This is a guaranteed product. So I am not going to send you to anything that I haven't already had great experience with. And the Money Max I own. I have my daughter-in-law. I told you guys she's into it with their family and she absolutely loves it. I get nothing but good feedback on the Money Max. The only negative that I've had is somebody says, oh, well, I don't understand it. That's an easy fix because we can get you additional coaching. We can get you trained, but I don't have negative feedback from people regarding how they're enjoying the Money Max. I just don't. And feel free if you have a negative to let me know because I work with the creator to help find, ways that we can make this an even better experience for people. So it's important that you have all of the options that are available to you. And like I said, this client, he had a low credit score. It was low 600, 620, I believe it was. Like I said, he was in a negative cash flow of 600. He had a really high DTI, so the banks would not even think about looking at him for a HELOC. He had equity in his home, but he couldn't access it because of this problem with his credit. So the Money Max, like I said, they took his payoff from 26 years all the way down to 8.7. He is still in it. He's still running the system. He has come back to get some things updated because they've had illnesses and stuff going on. So the team has updated him. That's a one-time buy-in, what he did. So it's a lifetime guaranteed product. And it is absolutely free to see how it's going to work for you. So you're welcome to, hi, Teresa, thank you for sharing. Your payoff went from 26 plus years to 5.2 years. That is awesome. Yes, it does give you a plan. It completely brings order to your chaos financially. It shows you line by line what to do and how this works. And tonight is a free webinar that we're having. You are welcome to jump on to that webinar. Watch it. It's just about 30 minutes, and they probably give you about 15 minutes to ask any questions that you have about it. After the free webinar, you get a free personal analysis if you want it. It will take your numbers just the way it stands and tells you exactly what the product is going to do with your finances, guaranteed. And it's not invasive. You're not giving them private information. You're not giving them social security numbers or account numbers. There's absolutely no reason for you not to at least get your free analysis to see what it's going to do for you, especially like I was saying a minute ago, if you cannot get a line of credit and you are just stuck, this could be your option. I just worked with a lady that absolutely was covered up in debt. She's in a negative cash flow. She has literally had credit cards closed. So if you're in that situation, if you're in a consolidation loan and you're stuck, if you've allowed some kind of national debt relief to come in and take over your finances and you're still stuck, then come to the Money Max and find out what it can do for you. Because if you're in a situation with closed credit cards and with any kind of national debt relief going on, then you most likely have a very, very low credit score in the 400 or 500s, and it's going to take a minute for you to get a line of credit. So join us tonight. I'm going to put the Money Max link in here. You are welcome to join us for free, and it's going to be aired live stream on YouTube. So you can certainly watch it on the YouTube channel. It's at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight, Tuesday. So join us if you want to. And if you don't want to, then go watch TV and figure out another strategy, I guess. I don't care. I just have to tell you what options are available. You have helped me pay out $15,000 in debt. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. I am going to jump off of here as I have another appointment that's getting ready to start, but I wanted to come on and talk about the line of credit and what it looks like when my clients are actually working with them. I have a lot of people in the Money Max that did not have any other option. I even have real estate investors in Money Max that have 8, 13. I think I heard the highest one was 54 homes. I can't hardly handle one. I can't imagine how I would do 54 mortgages. Oh my goodness. But it can bring chaos. No, it cannot. It can bring order to your chaos. It can bring chaos under control. That's what I was going to say. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Feel free to leave comments, questions under the video. I did put the link to the Money Max meeting tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. It is in the chat on the YouTube channel. It will also be in the description under this